Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle, and today I am talking about, I guess, a more controversial topic, and you can see from the title is why, as a person of faith, I choose to avoid homeschool curriculum that's labeled Christian. So let's start from the beginning. And why I'm making this video. I've noticed there's a lot of YouTubers on here that are either Christian homeschoolers, Christian or homeschooling in the homeschooling YouTube realm. I found a lot of them are Christian based. I haven't found a lot of other religion based ones. So I've found a lot of Christian based ones and then secular. So it's usually either or. Usually it's in all of your curriculum or you don't have any religious curriculum at all. So I found myself searching for a type of video that didn't really exist because here I am a supplemental homeschooler, which what that means is my daughter currently attends public school, which right now during the pandemic just means she's on her iPad for about 2 hours a day getting live lessons from a teacher. But when she's done with that, we do a lot of supplementing at home. Even before the pandemic, I did supplementing at home during the summer months. We do our own curriculum at home, and during breaks and different things like that. You know, preschool, pre-K, all that I've taught my kids at home. And if you're new here, I have a 1-year-old, 4-year-old, 7-year-old. So I'm familiar with the homeschool curriculum. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I'm not 100% on it. So this is from a different perspective, I think. But I was looking for videos, what if you do some type of homeschooling or educating at home and you're a person of faith, but you don't really go with the mainstream Christian curriculum out there. So what do you do? And how does that look? So let's start with something I don't think a lot of people talk about is a lot of YouTubers label themselves as Christian, which is such a broad term. I mean, to me that feels like you're saying, I like cookies, and there could be a million different cookies out there. Do you love all cookies? Do you love some cookies? So I want to get specific with you guys here in my faith practices. I am a practicing Lutheran, specifically ELCA. If you're curious what that means, feel free to Google it, look it up. I'm not going to get into all of that right now because it'll be a super long video. But those are the beliefs I'm coming from when making this video. All right, so let's get into it. I have two main reasons that I avoid Christian curriculum when picking out materials to teach my 7- and 4-year-old mainly. And the first one is, like I said, I think when something's labeled Christian, it's such a broad term. It can mean a lot of different things, and although I do appreciate different perspectives and views, especially when teaching my children, I've found a lot of these Christian curriculums to be very strict in what they believe. And I don't think I should ever teach my child something that uses a curriculum that limits or condones a particular group of people. I don't think I should ever use a curriculum that says there's only one way of doing something. I think that's a disservice to my child. So for example, some of the curriculums I've looked at, just because I've seen them on YouTube or they're popular, is Abeka, I know. It denounces evolution, which does not align with my values personally. And again, this is all based on my view. This is not an attack on a parent that uses this curriculum. I believe we're all parents trying to do the best we can for our children. So this is just, again, my point of view. It's not meant to be judgmental. But a big problem I have with Abeka is that it also labels gay rights as a radical social agenda. And that I have an issue with that. I am a full supporter of the LGBTQ community. And I find it difficult when Christians come at something like that, saying a particular group of people are wrong for being who they believe themselves to be. So I have a problem with, just the main company in itself let alone the actual curriculum they're putting out. I know BJU has a lot of anti-Catholicism stuff in it. They didn't even allow interracial dating on their university campus until 2000. Apologia has an entire part in their science curriculum about, I think it's called creation, confirmation at the end of each lesson, really bringing back to why God is responsible for this specific thing. And I know science and religion can be difficult, and I've yet to find a religious-based curriculum, science curriculum particularly, that really melds them well together without saying one or the other is wrong. So usually with science and things like that, I definitely go secular. And for me personally and my family, I don't think you should ever use a curriculum that's telling you or your child that this is the only way of thinking, which is my number 2 reason, is a lot of these curriculums present only one way. Either you believe this strictly or you're wrong. And it says a lot in the curriculum that if you don't believe this, it's wrong, which I don't know about you, but one of the benefits of homeschooling is allowing your children to experience different things. You know, one of the reasons people don't have them in public schools, they don't like how they're taught this one point of view. Well, why bring them home to just teach them that one point of view? So, like I said, in our house, my husband and I are Lutheran. My children attend Sunday school. They attend church weekly. We are lucky enough that we have a church that provides online services right now because we are in a pandemic, and the church has limited people in church right now, fully masked and all that. I'm proud of coming from a church that believes in the safety of others and following the right guidelines. But right now we watch it online because that's the safest option for our family. But there are live Sunday school lessons as well, and my children participate that. And I do some of the teachers with that because I believe you should be involved in your children's religious upbringing. So my children get their religious education through mainly that. I think that's enough. You know, I don't think it needs to be ingrained in every aspect of their education. We don't memorize Bible verses. I don't really see the point of it, especially when just take a verse out of context. I feel like curriculums that just have you write or do copy work of a verse, I don't really see the point of it. I think when you take a Bible verse out of the context it was written in, so maybe the full story or whatever the lesson was, you can really twist it to be whatever you want to. So if you say, this is the reason I believe this, and insert Bible scripture here, you can make it whatever you want it to be. So I think when you take it out of the original context and the whole story, you're really missing the point. So I'm not a big fan of that. So at home, like I said, we are practicing Lutherans, but that is not the only religion my children are exposed to. We explore many different ideas in this household. During Hanukkah, we do some of the practices there. You know, we own a menorah. We talk about the importance of the menorah to the Jewish people and why they use it. We take out books during that season about Hanukkah and different things. Same with Kwanzaa. We look into what that is and what those people believe. In college, I did study a lot of East Asian religions, so Hinduism, Buddhism, things like that. I did a fair amount of studying Judaism too. I find that interesting. And what's interesting about all these religions is they all have a lot of core things that they hold to be true. So there's a lot of differences, with them, but there's also a lot of things that are similar in religions. So I expose my children to all these different ideas because although I and my husband identify as Lutherans, they may not. You know, they might have their own ideas and opinions because guess what? They're their own person. So I like to have a household that not only shows how to respect people of other religion, but to really embrace what other people believe and think, because there's no wrong answer to somebody's beliefs, you know? So there are some ultra-conservatives that I think they should know are out there, and what they believe, and although it may be different from them, that you can respectively still have a conversation with that person. And again, if they choose a different religion as they get older or they have different beliefs, that's fine. That's not the point of me educating them. My point as a parent is to show them what's out there, to expose them to different things, to give them ideas, different perspectives. And then they make the choice for themselves. For example, yesterday my daughter was talking about reincarnation and ideas about that and what people come back as. And it wasn't a direct, I have like a Buddhism curriculum I'm using. It was just a natural conversation. So we talk about, what those beliefs meant and what those people meant. And then I asked, what do you think? I'm not saying, no, this is wrong. This is what we believe in this house and this is all you can believe. I think a lot of people are turned away from religion because of that. So we're very open in this house. We explore many ideas, and there's not a curriculum I have found, and please, if you know one, let me know. But I have not found a curriculum that embraces different points of view. And I have tried a few. I have tried Good and Beautiful. I find their curriculum is pretty vague when it comes to religion, so it's not direct that this is what we believe and God is responsible for this. Just let's appreciate God's work, which I'm fine with. They do occasionally have random scripture quotes in there, which again, I'm not a big fan of taking out of context, but I can, take that out if I want to. The only reason we really tried it was because they had that big discount because they're redoing their curriculum. So we tried it out, but most of the time I aim for secular curriculum, especially when it comes to things like history and science. And I believe, of course, you should have different perspectives of that, especially when you come to history. But when you have a curriculum blatantly telling you that the people that believe this particular idea is wrong, I have a problem with it. Any curriculum that promotes hate for a particular group, I have a problem with. And for me, my child's education should never be replaced with fundamentalist indoctrination. My job is not to instill my beliefs in my child. My job is to instill knowledge into my child and for them to make the decisions coming from a point of view of understanding, respect, and research. So that's what I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about. Because there are people out there that choose to home educate and are religious, but it's not their entire curriculum. So I hope to review some curriculums for you guys based on my unique perspective, I think, about being a person of faith, but not necessarily wanting that to be in every grain of my child's education, especially with some of the options out there, as I've mentioned before. So look forward to those videos. And again, thank you for watching.